Okay. Okay, you're highly welcome, Mr. Matthias, Alex. You're highly welcome. So we'll be kicking off, even if we have just two participants, because I'm expecting a whole lot, and I'm sure Africans are used to late coming, but it's not going to affect this event. Please, if you can hear me, just indicate with an emoji, so, or any of the stickers, please. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So, I'll be sharing my screen today. Let's do this together. Now, the first thing I want us to know is this event is being sponsored. This event is being sponsored by Pepe Programmers Hub, also being sponsored by Google Developers Group. Okay, and its target is to help make people understand that programming is not as difficult as they have ever thought. Okay, so please, if you have your mic on, I will advise you just mute it so that we would not have issues with noise on the background. Okay, now let's start. First thing, I am Ekene Agu. I am a web developer, a web innovator, a trainer also, and yeah, I'm also a motivation for a whole lot of people. So I'll be sharing my screen. Let me share this. This window. Okay, let me share this. So this is just a brief introduction of who I am. Okay, and you can also look up my other social media pages, which I'll be sharing at the end of this event. So firstly, let's start with what I have today. I think I made a program for this event. The program I have for this event is okay by 4 to 4:05. I'm welcoming everybody. So welcome everyone. And the next thing we'll be talking about is understanding websites and AI. I believe you can see my screen clearly. Please, if you have any issues, feel free to use the in-call messages. So I can always fix anything. Okay, so let me continue. Understanding websites and AI. We all know what websites are, like your regular pages you visit whenever you open your browser. Everything you see on your browser is a website. That's one thing I want us to know. And even the applications you are running, your Android applications, the ones you have to install, they are all websites. Yeah, they are websites, but simply because they are now being structured to work for a particular operating system, which is Android. Okay, but it's still a website, but it's being structured or rebuilt to work just for Android devices. Now, what AI? Again, let me talk about AI. AI is just a regular thing. Is that we all know. It helps us makes it helps us make the boring tasks. It helps us make that boring tasks. Like when it comes to programming or creating a website, one of the most annoying thing about it is writing the codes. Okay, but today we'll be using AI to do a whole lot of that. AI will be writing the codes for us. So but you need to understand the code. You really need to understand the code so that you'll be able to use it correctly. Admit more people in. Okay, so you need to understand the AI written code before you're able to use it correctly. It's just like telling AI to write you a song in French language. and you don't understand French. So how are you going to work with that song? How are you going to edit it? How are you going to make that make something out of that song? AI might have given you something wrong and you don't even know. So that's the importance of understanding the code. So for this tutorial, I'll be running us through just some basic things we need to know. And these things are very, very important. And what is the first thing? Let's go back to this. Now we have okay. Now let's look at issues like, let's say you have a website running. Okay, I think I just got a question on my WhatsApp now that says also Apple applications also website. Yes, they are Apple applications. They are web. That's why they call them web applications. They call them applications. They call them programs. They call them softwares. They are all built using the same ideology. Okay, and because people want to make this thing kind of personalized, so they now make it work for a particular operating system. I believe we know what operating system is. Operating system is just you using your Android phone. That's an operating system. If you are using a Windows computer, Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 11, Windows 13, whatever Windows you're using, that Windows is an operating system. iPhone also, that is the Apple iPhone, is an operating system for Apple mobile devices, while Apple, that is the MacBook, Apple made MacBook also for their computer, that is their laptops and their tabs. I believe that's clear. Please, if you have questions, feel free to always ask, so I'll be here to answer all your questions. Okay, so let's move on to this. This part we are moving on to is the real part, that is building a live website. Okay, we are going to be building a live website. What does this take? It takes something very basic. First, let me get my ChatGPT running. We'll be using ChatGPT. You can use any AI you want. Okay, you can use any AI you want, but I'll be using ChatGPT. I have to sign out of my account, so I'll be using the default setting. I do not want to personalize what ChatGPT will be giving to me, so I just want ChatGPT to give me answers neutrally. So I have to sign out. That's why you see I'm signed out here. Now, websites are built using 3 technologies, okay, which are HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Now, these are the basic technologies used in building websites for current web pages. Okay, but when it comes to the Android devices and all of that, they have different programming languages and framework, but they still fall back to the regular HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, just rebranded in different frameworks to make the job easier for the programmer. That is for the Android developer or for the Apple developer. Okay, so let's talk a bit about HTML. What HTML simply does is HTML builds the skeleton of a website. When you hear HTML, I just want you to think about HTML as a house or a building that is not painted, just a building with just the bricks and the pillars. A building with just the bricks and the pillars. That's what HTML is. Okay, so let's talk about CSS. CSS is simply when you now have to paint the building, you now have to give it colors, patterns, making the building look beautiful. Okay, that's CSS. And the last one is JavaScript. JavaScript makes the building functional. What I mean by functional is, let's say the building has an automatic gate that opens whenever the owner is around. Okay, let's say the building has a shower that turns on when somebody steps into the bedroom to have a shower. Let's say the building has a device that alerts the security when there's fire incidents. Now all of these things are functions, and all of these functions fall into JavaScript. Okay, now if you look at what I'm sharing right now, ChatGPT, what you're simply seeing here right now on ChatGPT is you're seeing the style and the HTML. The HTML is what gives us this text, or this, where should I begin? It gives us this down, all this text you're seeing, that's HTML. Okay, but what gives us this curve, all these beautiful curves, all these curves you're seeing around? Okay, what gave you this color? If you look at, I hover on something, you can see this, it gives us these boxes. Okay, these boxes are what CSS does. It gives us all of this beautification. Okay, that's CSS for you. Looking at this curve, that's CSS for you. Okay, so we'll be moving on to JavaScript now. The JavaScript of this particular website I have opened, that is ChatGPT, is when the website starts functioning. Okay, when it starts functioning, that is JavaScript. Remember, HTML shows you the front and the text. Okay, CSS tells you how the text should look, how beautiful the text should look, and JavaScript tells you or JavaScript helps the entire website to function, to have an attitude or have a particular behavior. Okay, please, if I'm too fast, you can call my attention to that. Okay, so now let's start. How are we starting? Let's start with giving our ChatGPT the first code. Let's say, okay, what site should we create? What kind of site? I'm just trying to make this spontaneous enough. Okay, let's create a website for please, if you have suggestions, feel free to put it in the in-call messages. If you have suggestions for what we should create right now, feel free to just drop it as messages. I'll pick the first one I receive. Yeah, somebody just said HTML means structure and CSS means style and JavaScript means modal. Yeah, JavaScript moves it. Exactly, that's true. That's I like that analogy. I really like that analogy. Me X Pro. Thanks for that analogy. That's so true. So, who's going to give us an idea of what to build right now? Just a website to build it. Something very basic. Okay. Okay, a marketplace. A sign up page. Okay, sign up page. Okay, let's do with sign up page. Let's look at what sign up page. Marketplace sign up page. Okay, now let's do sign up page. Now, thank you, Emmanuel SZZ. Yeah, thank you so much, Emmanuel. I really appreciate it. Now let's do with sign up page. Okay, for the sign up page, we are going to tell ChatGPT to, hey, generate HTML code for a basic sign up page. Now let's do this. Let's hit enter. And let's see what the ChatGPT is going to give to us. Okay. I said generate HTML, and ChatGPT is just being stubborn. It's adding CSS to it. Well, all good. All good. Admit somebody. Okay. Okay, it's adding CSS. Okay, no problem. Now, let me go around with this. Okay, you can see it's saying. Now let's start from what ChatGPT told us from the beginning. It said, yes, a simple, clean HTML sign-up page using only HTML and a little CSS. You can save this as signup.html and open it in the browser. This is so cool. Now, after generating the code, it says, if you want, I can add JavaScript validation. connect it to a backend, PHP, Node.js, Firebase, style it to look more modern or mobile friendly. Good. You see, for this very short bootcamp, I will like us to add that JavaScript validation. I think so. Yeah, let me tell it to add. Let me just say yes to this. So, because I want us to build using HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. Okay, let's say it says all fields are filled, email format is valid, password length minimum 8 characters, prevent form submission if validation fails. Okay, somebody has a question. Okay, I have. Do we need that is Max Pro? I have question. Do we need to learn some basics of HTML before using ChatGPT? Okay. Yes, you need to understand HTML. Just like I said earlier in the beginning of this session, I said you need to understand French to be able. So when you tell ChatGPT to generate something in French language, you will understand what ChatGPT has given to you. Now it says what is the first prompt you used? Well, you can prompt ChatGPT in any language you desire. Okay, the fact is the more prompt you give to it, you can even tell it to fix your prompt. I just gave it a simple prompt. I said generate HTML code for a basic sign up page. Okay, that's what I told ChatGPT. But ChatGPT generated it including CSS. Okay, these first lines of code you are seeing here, this one in this style tag, these ones here, moves down to this place, to this closing style tag, that's CSS. Okay, now then I needed JavaScript. Okay, now this is the HTML here. The HTML is in this body section. Okay, you have these are HTML tags. Okay, but because I needed JavaScript, I told ChatGPT to include JavaScript because I want the form to be functional. Okay, and let's look for the JavaScript. Okay, this is okay, good. This is the JavaScript code. I'll be explaining this code to you so that you will understand. Now, let's do this together. To build a web page, you can use any platform you want. Okay, you can use there are code editors. We have code editors. We have your text editor on your computer. Like if you're using a Windows, there's Notepad. Okay, that's the default text editor. And if you are using your MacBook, you have TextEdit, I think so. Yeah, if you're using a Chromebook, I use Chromebooks whenever I want to have online sessions. If you're using a Chromebook, you have your text. It's called text. Okay, but for this particular session, I want us to use a browser version of a text editor called One Compiler. Now let me share it. Now this is One Compiler. It's just normal OneCompiler.com. So One Compiler it's going to allow you to write codes on the web. Like it's going to allow you to write your codes on a website instead of having to configure your phone or your tab or your laptop to work for it. You just write it on the web page. So you can even you can work on your code on the go without having to sit down with a laptop. You can use your phone, visit onecompiler.com. You can do whatever you want. Okay, good. So when you go to One Compiler, I believe this screen is visible. Let me verify. Okay, it is. When you go to onecompiler.com, it gives you HTML, Python, JavaScript, Java, SQL, C. These are all programming languages. Okay, so it's divided into, one compiler is divided into like it divides it into programming for the web. You can see I told you for the web it has HTML, and this is for database. For those of us that are into data analysis and database, you will understand what this part is for. This is for those of us that wants to learn how to write codes to manipulate data. Data like, imagine the codes being used by MTN to send messages to people who are 18 years and above. You know, that is a large data. So MTN needs to know that, okay, everybody within that age range, MTN knows how to forward information to them. So now let's move on to this. We are in one compiler. You just pick any one you want. There is I'll tell you, but for now we are working on HTML. When you click on one compiler, it takes you to HTML, and in HTML it gives you a default page. Okay, it gives you a default page, HTML page. If you click here, it takes you to the CSS. This one gives you the JavaScript. So these codes are just there by default by one compiler to make you understand what you should do. Now let's run what one compiler has given to us. One compiler will show what you have done on this side of the screen. Now let's run it. Simple. One compiler just oh, it's telling me to log in. I don't want to log in. Okay, one compiler just did hello world. Now let me explain this HTML code basically. Every HTML code starts with the tag HTML. Let me zoom this out. Okay. I believe this is clear. Yeah, so let me check. Clear enough. Let me zoom once more. Now every HTML code starts with the HTML tag. That is the HTML tag. This is the tag. The angle, it's always in the left angle, right angle bracket. So there's always HTML in the middle. And remember, HTML starts and the HTML ends it, but the ending part has a slash. That slash is the ending part. And every HTML page is divided into header and body. Okay, I don't want to go too deep on this. Now let's come to CSS. Okay, CSS just tells you about the padding and the color you desire, while JavaScript gives you the function. Now let me tell you what ran this code here. What you are seeing on this part of the screen, that is on the output, is simply in the HTML. I said I gave it a header. H1 means header 1. That is a big title. Okay, I want it to be bold enough. I said inside the header there should be the word hello world. That's exactly what I said. And I created another paragraph, but this paragraph is empty. See, this P means paragraph, and I say P ID current time, but it is empty. But it is not just empty. I imputed something into it. How did I impute something into it? If you come to the JavaScript, please take note of this ID current time. Take note of this ID current time. Take note of this class title. Take notes. Now let's come to the JavaScript. Now look at it. Function show time. So this is a function. This is the JavaScript. The JavaScript simply does what? It just looks for that ID current time, and it gives it what? The new date. That is today's date and today's time. It pops it up and it places it in the middle of this paragraph. That's exactly what it does. Okay, so JavaScript function is just to give me the exact date. I can decide to impute something in between here. Okay, if I input something here and I run the code, now nothing still happens. But if I break this one, let me say, instead of putting ID, let me just break it so it won't be current time again. I'm just trying to disconnect it from this JavaScript code. Okay, and I run. Now what has happened is the text inside has shown, so it's no longer connected to the JavaScript here, that gives the JavaScript function that gives us the current time. Okay, so let me quickly connect it back. TIME, that's the correct spelling of the time. Take note, the current time here This is the same thing. Take note of the capital letter. Okay, the T is in capital letter here, and the T here also is in capital letter. So let me run the code. Now it gives us the current time. Now quickly back to our project. Okay, let's do this. Let's go back to ChatGPT. Now ChatGPT gave us all the codes in one HTML file. Now we can simply do this. I'll copy all of this code. Let me share this tab, and I copy all of the code generated by ChatGPT. Let me see. Okay, I copy all of the code, then I go back to one compiler. If I decide to delete all of this in one compiler and paste the code here. Okay, now I'll come back to explain CSS, please. But okay, I'll come back to explain it. I'm deleting all of this here because I don't need it. I'm deleting all of this. Now I pasted all the codes from ChatGPT here, which is not a perfect practice, but because ChatGPT generated it together, so I'm just pasting all here. Now let me run. Now good. Let me see. ChatGPT has done it. Now this is our sign up page. That's created our sign up page. Simple. Now okay, let me test it. Let me give it username random, email. Let me give you my email and say, let me test, because you have to test all ChatGPT code. Let me test this code by, let me just put my password, type the word password. Not a good practice. What does it say? Okay, now, oh, you cannot see. It just popped up something. It says sign up successful. Okay, but that pop-up is a JavaScript function, so you practically, it's just me that will see it. It's more like an alert. It's called an alert in JavaScript. Okay, so now let me take my time to explain this code, and I can clean it up also. What do I mean by cleaning it up? I'll place the style where the style is supposed to be, place the JavaScript where JavaScript is supposed to be. How do I do that? Let me take this. I'm still in this part. Remember, look at the style. I cut Ctrl X to cut off, and I come to style and I place it. Now let me still run my code to be sure that the code has not broken. Oh, the code has broken. You can see that there's a problem. My styling has broken. There's a problem with my style. Good. I'll teach you how to connect it all back. Now let's do this together. You don't need all of this here. Good. So to link up your HTML, we now want our HTML to pick up. You can, okay, good. This helps me. This is what we call basic HTML without style. Can you see what our sign up form looks like without styling? Without styling, look at what the form looks like. Let me undo so that you can see what it looks like with the styling. Let me undo and run. I'll still take it off again. Oh, something is broken with my code. As it. Control Z. Okay, good. I hope nothing is broken with my code again. Okay, good. Perfect. Now, look at how it is with the styles. This is the code with the style. Beautiful. Look at all these boxes. Now, let me take away the style. So I want you to see what the power of styling. Okay, I'm going to take away all of this from this tag. I'm going to take it away to the last style tag. Careful while doing that so you won't affect other part of the code. To take it away, just Ctrl X, taking it away. Now let me run the code. You see, so the HTML still works, okay, but the style is gone. Now let me place the style here correctly. Sorry, Don't need all of this tag. Now if you are separating it in this style tag, I'm just showing you the best practice. Okay, now run it, is still gonna get broken. Now I want to show you how to link your HTML and your CSS. I want to show you how to link your HTML and your CSS. We'll go back to ChatGPT. I want you to understand this code clearly. Now let me share this. Now let's ask ChatGPT. Let's see. I created. Okay, no, just tell ChatGPT, give me the code to link my external CSS. Okay, good. ChatGPT gave us so many numerous answers that are not reasonable, but this is the answer here. Okay, this is what we need. Link rel CSS. Now we take this code, this link rel style sheets href CSS. We take this code, we go back to our HTML. Now you place it in the head section of your code. Let me remove these unnecessary spaces. When you place it there, now see, okay, now take note of this. You see what ChatGPT gave me? It said link rel style sheets href style.css, but here it is named styles, styles. Take note of all of this. This can be the source of problems sometimes. So now I'm just going to add the s, okay, and run again. Perfect. Now I have separated the CSS code from the HTML code. Now let's go back here. We can also decide to separate the JavaScript code. You can see everything still works correctly. Let's take the JavaScript code and separate it. Place it in the JavaScript section. Okay, now let's still ask ChatGPT, how do I link JS code to HTML? All of this, I want you to understand that you can create all of this using your ChatGPT or using your AI. Okay, that's why I had to query the AI. Okay, this is what I need, not all of these stories ChatGPT is telling me. Script, source, JS, blah 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 blah. Now let's copy this code. We might have to edit the code when we paste it. Now we'll go back to our index file in our HTML. We are still going to paste it in the head section again. Okay, no, JavaScript, you can paste it in the head, but it is better being pasted below. Why it's better being pasted below? So it will not slow down your website. Paste it down. Okay, now this code will not work. Why it will not work is because here I said script.js, that's the source, and in this JavaScript I said js/script.js. I'll just need to remove this js/script.js. Now if I run this code again, let me see if my code is not broken. Okay, everything works fine. Yeah,
that's the one code commander.
Okay, thank you so much. Oh, sorry, I forgot to share that page. Thank you for bringing my attention to that. Okay, I think okay, thank you so much, Mr. Alex. Thank you, Max Pro. Okay, and thank you so much. So I'll come back. I will have to just do a short review of that. So as I was saying, we took the JavaScript code that was below, and we pasted it in this JS part. This is the JavaScript code. Okay, we need to remove all of these tags. These tags are HTML tags. They are basically useful if you are writing it in line, that is inside the HTML file. Though it's not a good practice, but you can do. Why it's not a good practice is because it actually slows down your job. Okay, now testing my code. Okay, good. My code still works perfectly. Let me put in username, any name. Okay, what JavaScript actually does in this place is that it creates an alert. There's something called an alert. I don't know if it's popping up. Let me put any password here. Okay, say, oh, password must be, okay, go. This is also JavaScript function telling me password must be 8 character. If I put in a password that is not complete, let me put 7, still tells me password must be 8 characters. Now let me show you where this is happening in JavaScript. Let me reduce this output. Sorry, you want to take this down so that you can have a good view. Now this is the JavaScript code here. Okay, now this first part of the JavaScript code is simply saying whenever the page loads, clear everything. You see, clears all the previous error, clear everything, starts the form as a fresh form. Okay, good. Okay, this part, email validation. Now what this is simply saying is that, hey, the email that somebody input must have the @, must have what? String. So if you input something that doesn't have that that a sign that looks like that a sign that we call rather. For instance, if I type an email like this and I put something like this and I create login, see, please include an in an email address. You see that? So that's exactly what this does for you. So that's the power of JavaScript. It kind of shows you, or it kind of creates functions. Okay, good. This is the part of the JavaScript code that tells me that my password must be 8 characters. You see, password.length, see, less than 8. Okay, now it says if password's length, look at if, this is a condition, if password's length is less than 8. I'm trying to read it without giving you the whole coding jargon. If password length is less than 8, simply tell the person password must be at least 8 characters long. Now it says if everything is valid, okay, if is valid, alert sign up successful. Okay, these ones you are seeing that have double lines, these are just comments. Okay, they're just comments to explain what the code does. Okay, because of our time, I've shown you how this works. Let me run it again. Sure. Okay, good. Now let me expand the output. So we've created a sign up. You can edit your sign up by saying something. You can change the text sign up to anything you want. Okay, and hit run. Okay, let's see. Oh, sorry, I edited it in this up part. Is here. John, and hit run. Now good. So this is what HTML does for you. So now let's move on to the part where we will be hosting. Let's talk about hosting. I think that's the next thing. Let me check. Yeah. Okay, let's move on to hosting. I think so. Yeah, launching. Okay, like launching the website and the next step. Okay, good. So to launch your website, there are many platforms that can help you launch your website. You can create anything. There are many platforms. There are many, but my favorite one today is Go54. Okay, so this is my Go54 dashboard. Go54 was formerly Whogohost, and today they are called Go54. So in your Go54, when you log in, what's the email address is simply go54.com. Just go type go54.com and you will see you'll be able to create an account, sign up. So but one thing I want you to know about Go54 is this: there's something called domain. Okay, if you can always get it. Domain simply means name. Okay, domain. These are all the domains I have hosted on this particular account. I have about 54 accounts because I open differently for different companies. Okay, so with this, like what I'm, this is just name. Domain means name, meaning that you are buying a name. Okay, you are simply buying a name. And what's that name? The name is just like johnson.com. Okay, mrkene.com, anything.com.ng, .uk. They are all domain names. Okay, these are all called domain names. Now the next one I want you to understand is hosting. Aside domain names, there's what we call hosting. Now hosting is basically a space. Hosting is a space. It's just like after buying a name, you need to buy a space. This is my own hosting. You can see this is the tab for domain. I find my domain here. This is the tab for hosting. I use shared hosting. Okay, so there are other things. You can set up emails. Okay, and the truth is these services are actually not free, but they are affordable. But the trick is this: I have enough hosting. Okay, I can host, there are tricks at which I can host so many websites on one particular hosting. I just need to buy different domain names for them. Now let me put you through on what hosting is. I'm going to use my shared hosting. Just going to use one of my hosting packages. Okay, and almost hosting packages, they introduce you to what we call cPanel. cPanel is like a cloud folder where you can upload your website. So let me share this tab. Sorry. Now to get to this place, please don't get it wrong. To get to this place, from your Go 54, you click on shared hosting. From shared hosting, you click on cPanel. When you click on cPanel, then it takes you to cPanel. That is this particular page. It takes you to cPanel. Hope I'm still sharing. Am I still sharing?
Oh, no, it's not sharing.
Okay. Let me do that again. Please, I mistakenly clicked something wrong. Okay, somebody said the best domain entry.com. .com is just for companies. Okay, if you are a person, you can use name. You can use .ng if you're in Nigeria. .com is just for corporate organizations. Okay, if you're in UK, you want your company to represent UK, you can use .uk. So it's just that .com is very popular. Good. So now this is your cPanel. Okay. Now in your cPanel, when you click on cPanel, it will always move me to a different page, but I will keep sharing. On my cPanel, when you click, it takes you to it opens a new tab for you. Okay, good. I'm trying to meet up with this. Now we have what we call file manager. Now in my file manager and your cPanel, let me share this. It keeps opening new tabs, so I need to keep sharing the current page. Now in your file manager, where we host website is in the, ignore every other thing, there's something we call public. That is where your website is. Okay, that is where your website is, and this upload is where you upload the website you have built. Okay, good. Now what I'm simply going to do is, let me go back to one compiler. I am done building on one compiler, right? So now you're still seeing what I built on one compiler. Okay, now I can simply do this on one compiler. I'll tell you, just download. When I click download, one compiler allows me to download the 3 files differently. Let me download them. Okay, you download the 3 files, that is the HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now I have downloaded the 3 files. Now I'll go back to my cPanel. Okay, Now, what I simply want to do on my cPanel is I want to launch this particular website. I want it to go on air. Okay, there's something called propagation. Like whenever you create a new website, it stays off for some while, but it comes on later. The server needs to update. Now, to do that, I'll simply go back to the cPanel where it was. I will do where is my domain? Look for domain. Okay. Now, if it's a fresh domain, you can create a fresh domain. But what I'm simply doing here is I am creating a subdomain. I am creating a subdomain. Okay, just do create a new domain. Okay, my new domain name is going to be, let me say, test page. Okay, now test page dot, oh, don't put space, it doesn't need space. Test page dot showpath.ng. Why I'm using .showpath.ng is because I am not buying a fresh one. I don't want to buy a new one. I just want to create something on that. It's just like when you log into a site and you will see login.facebook.com. That is Facebook creating a new one. They don't want to buy a fresh login page. You get, so this is it. I'm just going to submit. I'm going to submit this. Now it might take a while. So okay, it has successfully created. Okay, this is it now in one of my, okay, this is it. So let me click and see. Let me continue to sign. Now you see the site is under construction. That means I've not loaded anything in it. So let me now load what I have built. Okay, I'm back on my cPanel. That is that file manager. Let me refresh it, come back to my public. You see in my public it has created test page.showpath. Okay, now I'll click on that test page.showpath. Best thing, click on it here so it opens here. Please don't delete this folder here. This folder is a binary folder. It has binary files in it. So inside here you just upload. Okay, you can overwrite. Now when you upload, you click select file. You pick those things, those 3 files that you actually that you downloaded, then the HTML. Okay, I'm picking the script.js first. I select another one. You have to pick them individually. Style.css next. And the third one, index.html. Now these 3 files, okay, good, they have been uploaded. Oh, sorry, I did not share this tab. Sorry, this tab opened newly. Okay, so please, I just came from here. Okay, when I clicked upload, it took me here. So this is where it allows me to upload my script.js, style.css, and index.html file. So after I've done this, the next thing I need to do is, my site should have gone open now. I share this. Okay, you go back to that is the test page domain name. You refresh and let's see. Okay, now let's see. I remember we created it as test page.showpath. Okay, good. Now I have created test page.showpath.ng. Please, if you have your phone, you can check it. Test page.showpath.ng is live already. It's live now. It's just, so if you check it and you verify, just let me know that you have verified it. Test page.showpath.ng. Just let me know that you have verified, that you have seen the site. Just let me know. Okay, test page.showpath.ng. You can copy it and paste in your browser. Okay, Sin, good one. So Alex Sin. So I've launched a website by doing this. Okay, but remember that having to buy a domain name, like why I used testpage.shopper.ng, simply because, oh sorry, the test page should be written without spaces. Let me write that again. Test page dot, don't put space for me. Sometimes this computer is just, okay, you can see testpage.shopper.ng, please. So now it's live. I've created it. So as I was saying, I was able to create it and launch it because I already have a paid service running on Go54. Okay, so as developers, if you build your website, all you practically need, good one, thanks Max Pro, all you practically need is your name. If you can get your domain name, okay, if you get that domain, okay, like somebody like me, I have a whole lot of hosting. I can host as many, as long as the website is not a heavy website like Facebook, like a banking website, like, if it's something light just to show off your skills or just to let people know, you can purchase a name using Go54 or any platform you want. How can we host to everyone? You can, it's still the same thing. Host to everyone, like booking, yeah. You can host anything, okay? But the fact is, the bigger your application or the bigger what you are hosting, the bigger the space you will need to buy. That's hosting. You will need to buy a large space. You get. But for me, I have a large space currently, okay, and I'm not actually putting, just like I have a big house with few tenants in it. So if you like, what we developers do is, if I have people who wants to host our website, I'll say, okay, get your name and come over, share a space with me. So it's, why I'm telling you all of this is for you to understand that you can get your space and build for people. You can build website for people with just one space that you have purchased. That is one hosting. I believe that's clear. So please, let's use this last minute to ask questions. We just have about 4 minutes to go. Is there any question so far? And please, if your question is very, very, very long, or if your question needs deep explanation, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, feel free to reach out to me on this website, pepe.name.ng, or on my, you can chat me up on WhatsApp. Please, chat only is better. I think you can chat me up, okay, if you're struggling to, okay, what's the biggest problem I have got? Okay, the biggest problem I've got when I have ever gotten when I develop is the propagation period. Sometimes you build a website and the server is not propagating. Maybe the client wants you to launch this website in 12 hours. I've built it already just to put it on air for 12 hours, and the propagation period, you have to wait and keep trying. Sometimes you have to, it takes, but it's less than 24 hours though. Okay, I should review the link code syntax for CSS and HTML, especially with the AI. Okay, the link code, okay, let me just share this before. Now this is just the code to link your, this is for JavaScript. Okay, just put this code in your HTML file. That is script source of the script. This SRC means source. Okay, this source is simply the name of your JavaScript file. Okay, and you close it with a script tag also. Then for the style, okay, link relationship is a style sheet. href is like saying the source is also style.css in whatsoever form. So it's just, the only thing you might need to always edit is this one here to fit in your file name, and this one here to fit in your file name. These are the things you always need to edit. Okay, always look out for those ones. Okay, my biggest problem, especially with AI, about the architect, files. Please, Max Pro, explain that your question, please. Okay, I placed the link code in the HTML file. It's always in the HTML file. For CSS, you place it at the top in the head. Okay, while for JavaScript, it's best at the base. Okay, do you build files and put the code in it? Now, when you build files, like when you use one compiler, okay, when you use one compiler and you type your code or you generate your code and paste in one compiler, the moment you click download, it downloads it in different formats. The HTML is in .html format, CSS is in .css format, and JavaScript is in .js format. Okay, .html format means it's HTML, .css means it's CSS, okay, and .js means it's JavaScript. Okay, so I think we should be rounding up by now. I want to appreciate every one of us in this session. Okay, so if you have further questions, you'll be receiving a message after this session in your email. Okay, so if you have questions, you can reach out to me and I'll answer you directly. How would you download your code if you are using VS Code? Okay, it's still the same pattern. Good. If you are using VS Code, now VS Code gives you many opportunities. You can even read that. You can work in a way that you can just click on download files. Okay, it gives you your files in a folder. VS Code makes it even easier, but it's just that VS Code is complicated. Okay, using live server. Okay, good. Now all of these also work in the same manner. Live server is only that maybe you are trying to create something that requires back end. Okay, please, if you have further questions, just reach out to me on my WhatsApp number. I'll be happy to reply. Thank you very, very much. I'm still Ekene. Please, Max Pro, please reach out to me on my WhatsApp. It's still 090-6811-5252. Okay, so thank you so much. I really appreciate. Yeah, so see you guys. My next event will be meeting. So if you have questions, please feel free. Thank you. You have a blessed time. Okay.